The Brotherhood of Angels and of Men, Chapter 8, Joy. I would sing to you of joy, the joy of the gods as they revel in the land of joy. The land of joy is the land of dreams, where every dream comes true, where every thought and answering thought thrills with joy. The land of joy is the land of the gods. There lives the God in man. For men are gods, and the godly part dwells in the land of the gods. The land of joy is beyond the mind, through the gates of eternal peace. Angels share that land with men, and these are the gods who sing. Thrills of gladness fill the air. By joy we live and breathe. Everything is full of joy, like the bursting buds of spring. Throughout all the land is the freshness of morn, of dew, of bud, of flower. Lightly the angels pass on their way, wafted on wings of joy. Nature wears a perennial smile, a smile that is ever new. Laughter rings through the woods and dales for the joy of eternal spring. All power, all truth, all vision, all work, all life is expressed in that land in terms of joy. An effort of will sends a wave of gladness through that land. New tasks are welcomed with the smile of those who greet their dearest friend. Every heart and every soul thrills with the dancing gladness of spring. Vast choirs of angels sing songs of joy. Cherubim and seraphim disport themselves, their winged faces shining with joy. In that land, every thought becomes a poem. The lower man must join the higher man in the land of joy. The twain must walk together through its green places. The higher man is calling, ever calling to the lower. Come, come into the land of joy. As his eyes are opened, splendor on splendor is revealed. The fluting pipes of seraphim and the tremble songs of cherubim. Those twins sing and play concert in the land of joy. No earthly eyes can see, no earthly ears may hear the vision and the music of this land. No earthly hand of the lower man can ever truly write its wonder and beauty, its ecstasy and thrilling gladness. It is the land where every earthly happiness finds birth. A single thrill within it gives birth unto 1,000 happy hours in the world below. Its wayside flowers are parents of earth's most luscious blooms. Its trees, waving in the evening breeze, send the divine melodies to the lower ears of men. Spring-like freshness of air, lily-scented bowers, oceans wide like mighty frosted panes, reflecting the noonday sun, rivers of crystal, streamlights whose waters are of precious stones, waterfalls and cataracts like broken sun rays flashing through 1,000 prisms, billowy foam, showers of spray of diamonds, each drop lighted with an inward sun, tall trees like stately mothers of gods, emerald clad, clouds that are alive and gambol like the lambs as they float across a sky of sweeping vastness with ever-changing hues, lighted as if by 1,000 sunsets, air balmy, buoyant and full of song, like the trickling of a rill, air of pockets which constantly explode and shed bright radiance, vitality, and all the fresh odors of spring. Of such is the land of joy. It is a land of fair valleys, towering heights, vast chasms, great precipices, every rock and stone bejeweled with 1,000 gems, earth that is pigmented, reflecting the hues of the sky, each particle of earth a separate life, a pulsing heart-shaped diamond, translucent yet full of color and of light. Every shade that passes over the sky changes the color of the earth, is broken to 1,000 hues by myriads of nature's prisms. There are no deserts there, yet all the land is like an oasis, a mirage that is true. In the land, so far yet so near, the immortal self of man resides. There all day long he walks, companioned by his angel kin, each ensouled by joy, each its embodiment. Their distance is not, for all the world is at his feet. There is no time, there no time passes, for eternity is his. Such is the land wherein the souls of men dwell. Such is man's spiritual home. Though I speak of land, of river, sea and sky, of trees that wave majestically, of precipices and glade, of mountaintop and field, it is but the essence of these things, and not their form, which compose the very landscape of the land of joy. For it is a land of light where all things are of light. There is no form that you would recognize as form, yet form is known through recognizance of the essence of all form. Beauty gives ecstasy, the answering thrill of joy, yet it is not beauty's form, but beauty's self we see. In this world of eternal gladness, there are no words, for the soul of men and angels have no need for words, nor are there thoughts, for thoughts are but divisions of ideas, as words are but divisions of thoughts. Here division cannot be, for the land of joy is unity made manifest, yet not in form. Unity is the basic law of the land of joy. All the knowledge that men acquire by thought is here. Without the need of thought, all the deepest love they ever feel is here, universally shining, not from a center or a part, but implicit throughout. The music that you know by thought, by feeling, and by sound is a faint and far-off echo of its universal music. Before the music could find true expression in the lower worlds, every atom of the worlds of thought, of feeling, and of flesh would have to learn to sing, so that there would be no room at all for anything save music. Even the interstices between the particles which build the form would be filled with song. Before the lower man could hear the wondrous sound, he must be built anew of singing atoms, so that he could hear the atom's universal song. Yet even then, for him, the vision and the sound of the land of joy would be afar off. For in that land, thought, love, beauty, and music are one and indivisible, interchangeable, each instinct with the other. Inseparable is the fourfold life force, yet one. Every human ideation in the lower worlds is here a living thing, completely comprehended in a flash in all its possibilities, from birth to ultimate expression and full maturity, and beyond that to the fading power, even to its death. Birth, maturity, death, here the three are known as one. In this land where joy reigns dwell the ideations of the universe. They are the essence distilled drop by drop from the consciousness of God. Here, the immortal self of man sheds upon the lower man the odors of those precious essences, the scents of those perfumes. As the lower man in the world of thought breathes their delicious scent, a system of philosophy is born, a symphony formed, a mighty flood of genius released. The creative fire which drives the artist on is fed from the petals of flowers, from which these perfumes are distilled, for earthly flowers are but the solid embodiment of universal ideations. In the land of joy, there is but one perfume, the essence of every odor of the world below, containing all. Angels descending to the lower worlds where heavenly joy will one day reign, bear in their hands censers, exhaling perfumes from above, and as they fly, they swing them, pervading the world of thought and feeling with their power. As the thinking and feeling cells of men breathe in the scented power, great deals of heroism and love are born in worlds of flesh. The mother clasps the babe more closely to her breast, ready to give her life for it, if need be. The slave of housework, toiling with rebellious heart, seeing before her a lifetime's drudgery, takes heart anew, sees husband tired, sees children sick, yet drudges on. Round her the angels gather and flood with her with the perfume. Rebellion passes, peace comes. In the morning she wakes with courage all renewed to continue the hourly heroism of her daily life. Of that heroism the angels sing, and the song is heard in the land of joy, and the immortal self smiles, knowing that the time shall quickly come when the lower and the higher shall be one, knowing that his earthly pilgrimage shall yield most precious fruit, that his earthly son shall come home, laden with gifts, gifts that will add new splendor and new gladness and new power to the ecstasy by which he finds expression in the land of joy. To every man and woman who, in every walk of life in their lower worlds, the angels come, bearing their perfume, the aroma of eternal ecstasy. They would waken in the hearts of every man a craving for that scent, will give to men the knowledge that they have a heavenly home, which show them in the mirror of the mind the reflection of their heavenly self, the vision of their own immortality. This is the mission, also, of every teacher among men, every preacher, healer, sage, artist, scientist, statesman, and king. All have as their mission, if they but rightfully understood it, to reveal to man his own inherent splendor, to lead him through the sorrows of his earthly life, back to his spiritual home, the land of joy. The Brotherhood of Angels and of Men, Chapter 9, Vision. All labor should be performed in the light of vision, and none undertaken until vision has been achieved. However well plans may be laid, they will fail unless they are based upon vision. Vision is relative and a question of degrees. It is not fixed, but changes as the minutes pass, and must therefore be renewed constantly. Vision is the contact of the small self with the great self. It is the knowledge of divine ideas. Before the birth of stars, before the growth of worlds, came vision. Before all things manifest and unmanifest is vision. Vision comes before the first act of God. It is the life of the unmanifest and the world in which it dwells. Vision reveals the plan, is the essence of the real, that from which sprang, and that which it grew, that by which its ultimate expression is achieved. Vision regulates the march of the spheres, guides the universe, rules the cosmos. Behind all the magnitude of the stars and worlds, throughout the infinities of space, is vision. If you delve into the innermost heart of God, you will find him seated in the midst of vision. Vision, which is the heart of the real. From his vision proceeds the real, and from the real, the unreal. Vision passes to manifestation through the unmanifest, and if you would escape the confines of the universe, seeking the cosmos, searching for the absolute, what you will find is vision. So vast, so all-embracing, so infinite, that to you it will appear as darkness, darkness from which you will shrink, a darkness and a silence so profound as to exclude all possibility of light and sound, a stillness so absolute as to exclude the possibility of motion. Such is the vision of the absolute. Your wings may not carry you across its wide spaces. You cannot fall into its dark depths. Your eyes cannot penetrate its utter blackness. Wings, eyes, and voice serve you no longer. You must turn backward, craving for sound and light and motion. Yet that which to you is positive negation is the vision from which all universes spring. Descend, then, once more to your own world, finding there a reflection of the darkness you can comprehend. For even as you gaze into its depths, vision will come, and you will know all that has been, is, and is to be, the vision of the now, that which is behind eternity. No man possesses it, no ruler even of systems or of worlds can claim it for their own, since they themselves are but the shadows appearing within its dark depths. Yet it is not evanescent, nor aerial, nor ethereal, nor does it ever change. It is. The highest point within you is but a reflection of that vision. Every cell in every world is ordered by it. You and I and all that live are ordered by that vision in our enfolding and unfolding. It is not God, for God himself whether he be man, angel, world, or ruler of worlds, or even ruler of rulers of worlds, must conform to it. Whence it came is not known, nor ever could be known, for it is behind all knowledge, even of the Supreme. It is at once apex and base, and sides of the pyramid of all things manifest and unmanifest. When men, angels, worlds, and rulers of worlds pass from manifestation to the unmanifest again, vision remains, nor is it changed in its varying decrees. So, my brothers, in all things, let us seek the vision. Whenever our eyes rest upon a form, let us seek its vision. And when we hear a sound or see a light or grasp an idea, or even for a brief space touch reality, let us remember that behind all these there is a vision. There is vision, and remembering, bend our powers with tireless search to find it. Since when it is found, the key of knowledge is revealed. It is not here nor there nor anywhere, but everywhere. When you gaze on beauty, you gaze upon the self. And when you gaze upon the self, you see yourself. And behind the greater and the lesser selves is the vision. The vision that you have, the dreams of future lives, the splendor of great plans, the inward urge to tread the path, to find the goal, the craving of your hearts to make a perfect world, to heal the sick, to appease all pain, to annihilate the ignorance of man. The vision of all is this in you, in a faint reflection of the vision seen by that which is the summation of all that is. For behind that, too, is vision. There is a graded order including all visions, great and small. Remember this, and ever seek to test your own small share, raising it stage by stage through the graded orders which lead from the unreal to the real, and from the real to vision. Just as no vision you can have is comparable to that of the ruler of your worlds, so is his vision not to be compared with that from which it springs. In all your lives, in all the worlds, seek vision. Behind the atom and the gem, behind the growing plant and the mighty tree, behind the fawn, the lion, and the tiger too, behind the angel and the man, behind archangels and solar lords, is vision. Until you have found it, your soul will not rest. Sight, even mental sight, is to it as the ideas of a world to the infinitude of ideations behind all worlds. Yet sight is the instrument by which it may be known, for there is a graded order of sight, a stairway of vision, winding in a never-ending spiral through all worlds and through all space. Somewhere on one step of that infinitely splendid spiral way is physical sight. Next above is mental sight, the vision of the mind, and beyond that, spiritual sight, which leads to universal sight, and thence to cosmic sight, and beyond that, unknown sight. Unknown save that there is no end, that somewhere in that unknown infinitude the highest and the lowest meet. There is not separating the highest sight from the lowest, nor are they different save as they show themselves in each individual soul. This is the starting point for every quest, that inasmuch as it can show itself through us, everything is ours. For within man too, that mighty spiral can be found, not of him, but passing through him, winding its way from below, entering his feet as it were, and winding through him until it passes above his head into his deeper self. Through all things these spirals pass. Up them all things must climb within themselves. The lesser spirals are to the mighty curves of the cosmic stars, as are its circular reflections to the rainbow. Not the rainbow itself, but the expressions of its light. Behind the lesser and the greater curves is vision of the spiral whole. The Brotherhood of Angels and of Men, Chapter 10, Thoroughness. If you find and tread this pathway, see that everything you do is done with thoroughness and efficiency. Absence of thoroughness is a denial of divinity. As divinity is implicit throughout the universe, so should thoroughness be implicit throughout your work. Set a standard for yourselves. Absence of thoroughness means loss of force, since without it, no work can be clear-cut in its outlines, finished in its expression. Work should be regarded as a vessel containing force, the force of the idea behind it. Thoroughness gives to the vessel a perfect outline. Where the outline of a form is perfect, there is no loss of force. Work should be regarded as a chalice held up to the mind, that through the mind, the power of the idea of which the work is ultimate expression may descend into it. If the work is not thorough, the chalice will be malformed, the wine spilled. Therefore, work always with thoroughness. So God works throughout his universe, in which there is not even the smallest part which does not bear the impress of his mind. Nothing, however minutely small, is overlooked. Nothing, however great, that is not completely pervaded by and held within the grasp of his mind. He makes of his universe a perfect chalice. Under his control, no force is ever wasted. The cup of his work, full to overflowing, never overflows. So also his ministers work the dual hierarchies of archangels and perfected saints, his holy ones, his right hand and his left. The only ideal for which man may worthily strive is that of joining the rank of the ministers of God, whether of human or of angel kind. That ideal can only be achieved by successful imitation of their methods. The keynote of their work is thoroughness. Let it be the keynote of yours. Without it, the highest cannot be achieved. If your work concerns the details of life, work with infinitely careful attention to detail. If you deal in broader outlines, in wider sweeps, plan with an equal thoroughness. Thus will your work embody the power of the idea upon which it is based. Thus you will achieve success. It is essential that the idea should be true, that is, an expression of the divine idea. Then it will be a source of power, and will give a dynamic energy to the work which its ultimate expression, raising it to heights worthy of a worker who aspires to serve as the hand of God. The idea represents the head, the worker, the hand of God. On this conception, base all your work. Thus you will achieve greatness. Thus you will live according to the highest. Thus truth will be yours. Thus you will enter the land of joy, ever to live therein. For joy and work are synonyms in the land of joy. There is no joy without work. All work is joy. Therefore, my brothers, when you work, remember joy. Try to make of your world a reproduction of the land of joy. Keep joy uppermost. Flood your house with joy, your garden too. Let joyousness pervade your neighborhood. Preach, teach, inculcate joy. Set it upon high. Hold it up before the eyes of men. Become yourselves its embodiments. Thus will you bring the sense of the land of joy even to the earthly hearts and minds of men. Cease to divide your world and work into compartments. Train yourselves to see in everything an expression of the one. Practice the discovery of synonyms. Play at matching them. Do not pass from your work to play. Do not pass from work to play, from play to prayer, from prayer to worship in your church, from church to recreation. Do all things as from a center, from which they are seen as one, as indeed they truly are. Thus will give you a new meaning to life. Above all things else is the need of your race. You have lost the sense of unity. You are conquered by the delusion of diversity. You are enslaved by the apparent separateness of things. So you have lost the meaning and the true vision of life. That vision must be recovered before any advance can be achieved. The keynote of the true vision of the meaning of life is unity in diversity. Therefore, you must also teach unity. Unity is the most intangible of all the attributes. Seek to grasp it in the lower world, and it will evade you. Therefore, you must rise above diversity beyond form, past ideas, even leaving the land of joy behind you, since joy is an idea. When the last vestige of an idea has been emptied from your soul, unity can be found.